FTB Film Study is presented by PAM Health, the official rehabilitation partner of Penn State Football. PAM Health provides elite-level inpatient and outpatient physical care at over 70 hospitals across the country. Learn more at pamhealth.com.
Welcome into another For the Bloggy Film Study. Today, we are going to be taking a look at Jim Knowles' homecoming to Ohio State. We're going to take a look at some of those big-time plays. How did we let Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith get open downfield? Also, some Chaz Coleman. How has he progressed as a pass rusher, and what did he put on tape against Ohio State, and much more. If you guys are enjoying the content, please hit that subscribe button and like button. It helps out the channel. Without further ado, let's get into the tape. Julian Sayin in the Ohio State offense had 3 big-time deep pass completions against these Penn State DBs. Let's talk about them. This first one to Carnell Tate here. And so what you're getting is, it's called quarters defense, but essentially once Tate declares inside, Tracy knows that he is essentially going to have to man up on Tate and that Elliott Washington is going to sit down in the flats here. So what you're going to see Tate do a really good job of is all he's got is a streak, but he's a lot more creative of how to attack this. He's going to attack at Tracy. So what I want you to watch is how he goes straight at him, and it kind of freezes Tracy's feet here. At him, and then you see that fake, that subtle, right, that jab inside. And so what I want you to watch is when Tate stabs inside, watch Tracy's body. He bites on it. So stab right there, and you see Tracy committed inside, and now he's leaning inside, and Tate did exactly what he wanted him to do. He manipulated him in by just pressing in, and now he's going to press back out, vertical, boom, stem, and now Tracy is in full-on trail mode, in panic mode, and Tate is able to just take off. Beautifully thrown football there. A little bit behind, but still gives his guy a great opportunity to go up and get it, and then scamper in for the touchdown there. So this is just a great job, like I said, at him, that inside, back out, that really threatened Tracy, made him open up, be in bad position, and Tate is in there for the touchdown. All right, next one, here we go. Jeremiah Smith on a long ball, about 55 air yards, and Sayin put this one on the money. Let's talk about it. This is essentially man that you have here. It's man coverage between Adavian Collins and Jeremiah Smith, and this is just a superior athlete. Watch him go outside, and this is the one thing I don't love, that it seems Penn State kind of teaches this. Whenever they're in press coverage, they don't ever put hands on, so you're going to see Smith get a free release here. There's no friction. There's nothing stopping him that's kind of bumping him this way or bumping him this way. It's a free release. You see how there's no contact, just a little bit on the back. But now at this point, you are almost even with each other, and this is the best wide receiver in football. You got to do something to stop him. And then right here, Mac is not going to see this thing until a little bit late because he's got eyes on number 1 here. That's his first responsibility. And then finally, as soon as he sees number 1 cut out, he goes, oh, okay, I can help on Smith, but he's a little bit too late. And like I said, you are already in trail mode here if you're Adavian Collins. And once again, you are dealing with one of the best wide receivers in college football. And that placement is in the bucket, 55 yards from Julian Sayin. That is a dime. So certain times it's you don't really have anything to say except this guy is on scholarship too. That's what the coaches always say. And not only is he on scholarship, he's the best wide receiver in America, and he just beat them here. All right, last big play here once again to Carnell Tate, and you got a perfectly thrown football by Julian Sayin, hit him right in stride. And so it's going to be kind of similar here. Tate at the bottom of the screen, and watch him just attack Elliott. So he's going to press at him, and what he does is he does a little fake outside here, fakes outside that kind of gets Elliott to bite out, and then he's going to go ahead and he snaps back vertical inside. So he faked Elliott outside, got him to commit, snap back vertical, and then Sayin lays it up, and you see the type of separation he has between Elliott and him. And once again, that is on the money. Sayin is the best deep ball thrower in all of America right now. Put them in great field position. Now let's talk about one of the best players on this Penn State defense, and it is true freshman defensive end Chaz Coleman. Jim Knowles lined him up a lot as this stand-up zero tech. Abdul Carter did this a lot in the past, and it gives you matchups you like because generally the center is not as athletic as a tackle out here, so you're getting a matchup that you like here with Chaz Coleman. He's going to set this up really nicely, so he's going to commit to this right half. So this center, Hinsman, thinks, okay, he is rushing half a man this way. So does a great job getting Hinsman to kind of commit. You see Hinsman start to throw that punch. As soon as he throws that hand, that triggers in Coleman's head. Okay, as soon as he throws that punch, that's when I'm going to start my spin move. Does a great job. He's so quick with it. Puts this left hand, this elbow kind of on Hinsman's back to then propel him forward. That's that ice pick. That's pulling himself through on this spin move. Great separation. Sayin's eyes sees this and knows I have to get rid of it. I got pressure in my face. Great job forcing an incompletion there on the goal line. Okay, now very similar situation. 3rd and 5 here. Once again, Chaz is in a stand-up zero tech over top of this center, and he gets 2 guys looking to block him here. And watch, he gets home. Sayin just gets it out really quick, and we are dealing with Jeremiah Smith here and the first down conversion. But what I want you to watch here that's so impressive from Coleman is, like I said, he's got 2 guys ready to block him. He jumps from basically just the right half of this center and is in one step is able to get all the way around the right guard. So watch how quickly he moves. Just completely beats the right guard like a drum here, is able to get through. If Sayin holds on to this for one more second, Chaz is right in his grill, but he's going to get a pressure for that right there. All day long, rushing from this stand-up spot, Chaz was creating a ton of havoc. Now, one more time, you're going to watch him right here rushing against Daniels, the right tackle, on a big pass play here from Sayin. Unfortunate, we just watched that one, but he was so close to getting some pressure. So what I want you to watch is he is actually supposed to be rushing inside. He's going to be rushing this B gap, but watch, he feels that Daniels here is just completely pressing down. And so I like this. Chaz Coleman's just being a ball player. I feel that he overcommits to inside, and as much as that he's supposed to be rushing this inside gap, this B gap, he goes, I'm a ball player. I feel this overcommitment, so I'm going to get his hands off me. Does a great job, hand swipe, get him off, and now let's go rush. One thing that Daniels does really well here that saves him is he gets a push right there in Chaz Coleman's back, and it makes him stumble down into Julian Sayin. Once again, great job by Julian Sayin to have pressure in his face like this going down. And just a quick note, I'm sure some people will ask, a push in the back inside the pocket, that is not a penalty. Offensive and defensive linemen, they can go at it all they want as far as pushes in the back. But great job here from Julian Sayin. Great pressure here from Chaz Coleman. That's called getting home. That's generating pressure, but it was still not enough for this Ohio State offense. This Penn State defense registered 15 pressures on Julian Sayin on just 23 dropbacks, but 0 sacks. So let's look at how did that happen. This was a huge one right here. This was 3rd and 5. It is 10-7. If you stop them here and get the ball back, you got a ton of momentum. Denai Dennis-Sutton does a great job getting some pressure here. You're going to kind of run a natural stunt where you go 2 penetrators, 1 looper around. One of your penetrators wins. Right here, you have to close this out if you are Denai Dennis-Sutton. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of intensity coming from him. Kind of just continues to run upfield, completely miss him. Misses Keon Wiley, misses his tackle there. Julian Sayin is able to extend the play. But if you watch it, this is a great move from Denai Dennis-Sutton. He sees this inside hand of Saraveld go up. So watch him take both hands, double hand swipe. That's great stuff. Just instinctually just swipes that thing. Saraveld completely looking at the ground here. That's everything that you want out of your superstar defensive end. But right here, this is a must finish in a moment where you're able to grab all the momentum from this Ohio State team. You just went 15 plays, 75 yards, your offense. Now, can you make them go 3 and out? and you allow this to happen, 2 missed tackles, and Julian Sayin is able to continue that drive on. All right, let's talk about some more times that Penn State got some really good pressure, but just wasn't able to get a sack or make anything out of it. This is something Penn State was doing a lot of. It was either Dom DeLuca or Amari Campbell, but they were just plugging a linebacker in this A-gap, and Ohio State was really struggling to pick this thing up. So Amari Campbell comes free, Sayin looks over here, doesn't like what he sees, looks back, and by the time he looks back, he's got nothing. Everybody is kind of locked up here, and Amari Campbell is screaming in his face. He's able to kind of scramble away, buy a little bit of time, but that puts him right in the lap of denied Dennis Sutton. This thing gets sandwiched. You be the judge of it. Some people, where he threw it out here, some people want intentional grounding. They said the receiver was close enough. It's a close call, but the refs did give it to him there. All right, let's talk about one more time where there was some good pressure, and boy, did Julian Sayin get lit up here. So what you're going to get is you're going to get a similar stunt to earlier where you get 2 penetrators. So these guys are both coming down, and then Zane Durant is going to loop around. And the hope is that you're kind of just messing with the mind of the offensive line. Everybody gets caught up, and you see right here 51, Montgomery, who you'd hope is getting off right here to Durant, can't get off because these guys did a great job penetrating. Durant looping around, and Sayin takes a lick right to the face. You get this PI as well. Sayin got right up from this. Watch this hit. Oh my gosh. Credit to him for getting up. That was roughing the passer there that they called.
FTB Film Study is presented by PAM Health, the official rehabilitation partner of Penn State Football. PAM Health provides elite-level inpatient and outpatient physical rehabilitation at over 70 hospitals across the country. We strive to make a meaningful impact in the lives of our patients by facilitating extraordinary outcomes and quality results in a compassionate and caring environment. Learn more at pamhealth.com.
Now, one more time, you're going to get some pressure up this middle, blitzing Dom DeLuca, but Sayin is just so good at finding that check down. I talked about that in my pregame film breakdown, but you're going to, very similar here to the Amari Campbell play we just watched, just plug in linebackers, just straight downhill, and when this happens, you're going to get both defensive tackles are going to loop out, and Dom DeLuca, this will linebacker, is going to plug right up the middle, but I just want you to see Sayin's eyes. He's out here. He's going through his reads. He says, okay, I have someone in my face. As soon as he sees someone in his face, in his mind, he goes, boom, I need to get to my check down. And that's what makes him so good. Automatic pressure. Okay, I'm at my check down. He's open. Does a great job creating a little bit of time because he was right here. He says, I'm going to drift, get it out to my check down, get a couple yards, and make sure that was not a negative play. All right, now let's talk about this Penn State rushing defense and how they fared against this Ohio State rushing attack. It was actually pretty good, and it had some bright moments. So right here, true freshman defensive end Ivan Kemiju, who I think you need to keep on this roster if you're Penn State. Watch him work this swim move on Luke Montgomery, who I think is one of the better guards in all of America. So he is going to be knifing inside. And anytime you get this outside pressure off the edge as an offensive lineman, you almost know if something's coming off the edge, then this defensive end is going to loop inside. So does a great job. Montgomery tries to put hands on. You get a double hand, and you see he's kind of coming off the ground here. You get a double hand jump swipe. Montgomery completely going forward, eyes down at the ground, Kemiju in the backfield, able to create a nice havoc play here, get in the backfield for the TFL. That is a young star in the making. Now, right here, you get a really nice TFL early on in the game. You're bringing Sam Blitz. This is Keon Wiley. And if you do notice, Penn State, they're running a 4-3 here. You got 3 linebackers out, so this is the Sam linebacker up on the ball. It's just a basic Sam blitz. Ohio State is not able to pick this thing up. They are running counter. They're pulling this guard and they're pulling a tight end, and this is just the perfect play call from Jim Knowles. When you bring this field pressure, field means it's coming from the wide side of the field. So you see we're lined up here on the hashes. So it comes from the wide side of the field, and there's really no answer for it. Beautiful job by Keon Wiley flying in there, making a play early on. Now, right here, this was, once again, those blitzes I showed you earlier on passing downs. Same thing on the rushing downs. Jim Knowles, loved blitzing this linebacker, just plugging him right in the A-gap, and it worked really well. So what I want you to see is when he plugs down in, there he's going to completely split this double team between the center and the right guard. Campbell just works through, and then finally breaks through this thing right here, is able to make the tackle in the backfield on 1st and goal and make it a little bit of a loss there for this Ohio State offense. Now, 3rd and 2, this is where there were some moments where it felt like Penn State was just a little too small in the rushing attack. So 3rd and 2, and they get a ton of push here. What I want you to see is what we call this B block here between left tackle, left guard, and Alonzo Ford just gets taken all the way back to Amari Campbell here. And this is where it starts to get a little difficult for these linebackers when your defensive tackle's getting delivered back into your lap. It's not super easy. He's completely turned. It's never been easy to get 2 or 3 yards here. And so that's where Penn State needs to get a little bit better. And they really just need some bigger defensive tackles in moments like those. Now, right here, you're getting, once again, I told you it was constant. Jim Knowles loved just picking one linebacker, and he was just sending him in one of the A-gaps. And it kind of got them in trouble here at the end. This was the long run here that went for about 50 yards. So let you watch it once. Some beautiful blocking here from this Ohio State rushing attack. Bo Jackson off to the races. Yes, not that Bo Jackson. But so you see what happens here is they plug DeLuca. This gets picked up. And because they're plugging DeLuca across, Amari Campbell, his responsibility is to plug back over here. So everything's kind of getting pulled away here. And then another piece of this, too, is Alonzo Ford gets completely reached by Montgomery here. And so you got Zaki coming down into the box here, gets picked up by this tackle, and it's just perfect blocks. You just see it is just a wall on both sides. And I'll tell you right now, he's going down, but oh boy, here comes our boy Luke Montgomery finishing off Alonzo Ford, and this thing is off to the races for a huge gain. So Penn State's rushing attack had a good day overall, but definitely right here, and sometimes when they sent those blitzes, it caused some issues for them stopping some big runs like this for Ohio State.